Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome in. And Happy New Year's. It is New Year's Eve for me still. But for some of you, it might already be 2026. Crazy. Yeah, anyways. We are gonna be trying to fix some more bugs with Starground. There's some weird things. It's multiplayer, of course. What else would it be? I can absolutely destroy non-multiplayer bugs. Like, test it for a minute, figure out what's the deal is, and then boom, it's gone. But when it comes to multiplayer, it's really freaking hard. Because the thing is a lot of it just feels almost like just random. I don't know. It's really frustrating. But we have to fix it. And it's really weird. It seems like there's a... So the bug that we're really experiencing here... Let me stream. I'll go here. When somebody joins on a multiplayer game, sometimes they just don't connect. Like it goes to the connecting screen, but then just sits there and pauses forever. Which is really strange. It's almost like the server isn't detecting that the player has actually joined, you know? So I want to just boot this up again and do some testing here. It's been super frustrating trying to figure this out. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to not do another multiplayer game. It's just a lot of trouble. I think multiplayer is fine for a very simple, straightforward game, but Starground, man, it's a nightmare. I spent so much time trying to bug fix multiplayer in Starground that it's like it's taking forever to actually make the game, you know. Hey, it's Fencer. Welcome in. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. How's it going? Okay, so if I load up this save, and this is what... Okay, so sometimes the client can connect. You can see this person joined just fine this time, but usually it doesn't work. Oh, there's a weird bug. Let's try this again. Usually what happens is we get stuck on the screen the moment before we actually fully join. So it'll just say join a game, it'll say blueprint configured and stuff, so like it's about to work. But great, now it's working every time, so lovely. This is what sucks about multiplayer bugs, is sometimes they don't exist anymore. I was testing this as the exact same setup. It was on this save. I invite the player, they join. I don't know, maybe it's not... Maybe what I do need to do is invite them first. Maybe that causes it to break? I don't even know anymore. It's very frustrating. Yeah, there's New Year and check you about half an hour ago. Let's go. Yeah. Hope you had a good New Year's. Yeah, I've still got a ways to go. I have to wait 8 hours. Okay, I'm gonna try joining again. Did I just get a message? I don't see a message. See, now it just works fine. Let's try a crazier save. There was the save that I was testing, I think. Can't remember what it was called. It was like... what was it called? There's somebody's save. Let's go find it in here. I have a lot of saves. Multi-Chronopolis. This is the one that I think I specifically had issues with. So let's see what's happening here. Because maybe it's just like something to do with like... Maybe the terrain doesn't get fully synchronized. Okay, but I joined fine this time. Man. I just don't know how to replicate this problem. This is the hardest frickin' thing about multiplayer. I got a couple weird errors. There's one trying to call. Let's pull it in. Trying to call an RPC via a multiplayer peer which is not connected, which is strange. I guess that's for play animation. But RPCs don't matter. Just trying to think what else would cause this issue. Just don't know how to replicate it. That's the problem. It's unreplicable. That's some New Year's resolution. I don't have like any big grand resolutions particularly, but I think, I guess in terms of game development, I definitely want to, I would say my goal is to release at least like 2 games next year on Steam. So I think that would be nice. I definitely want to like, I want to do smaller games more often. I think it's just better that way. So that would be my resolution, is to make smaller games. But yeah, is this my last stream of the year? Perhaps, possibly. I have 8 hours until the year is over. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. But it's also like I'm sort of already doing that, so... It's not technically a New Year's resolution, because it's not like I'm gonna start in the new year. I don't know. Maybe listen to more audiobooks. I'd like to do that. Because they're epic. I just need to figure out a way to, like, get them cheaply enough, you know? I know there's the audiobook thing with Spotify, so I'm probably gonna be checking that out. Yeah, I would like to do that, though. What else, though? That's pretty much all I can think of right now. But yeah, what about you? Just trying to think how to fix this bug, man. It's just the worst. When I hate bugs where it happens over and over, and then I come back another day to test it and it doesn't happen anymore, although nothing changed. I didn't do anything. I mean, I could completely restart the editor. It's just so stupid. I have no idea what I need to do to replicate the problem. I don't know. Yeah, this is why I don't really want to do multiplayer to this scale again. It's just not worth it. I don't know. It's been so frustrating. And it's just been constant bugs. There's always some little issue. There's the problem with yeah, it's fine. It works just fine. Of course it would. There's the problem where for some reason sometimes when somebody leaves the server, everybody else also gets kicked from the server and stuff. But I don't know how to replicate the issue. I can't replicate it, so I can't fix it. It's like that with almost all of these bugs. Where it's like, I know that it happens, but I can't make it happen. So I don't even know what to do anymore. It's just not happening. So I guess I just won't be able to fix this bug. I don't know what else to do to make it happen. I'm not really sure. I don't know. This is ridiculous. To me, it just seems like it's some weird, like, maybe it was Steam servers causing issues, you know? I don't know. So, Tech Code Talk, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. They never work out for me, but, you know, the usual stuff. Be more healthy, work more game dev, other things. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I don't usually, like, do New Year resolution stuff, because it's like, I don't know. I think it's just setting yourself up for disappointment. I mean, I think if you have, like, one resolution that's really small and achievable, that's fine. But people are always like, want to do all of this stuff, and then if you don't finish any of them, you feel like you failed. But you're kind of just setting yourself up for failure from the beginning. Man. I don't know. I can't think of anything that I can do. I'm gonna just send them a DM and be like, it was happening yesterday and now it does not happen anymore, so it's possible. I know that Steam servers have been very congested, just because of the holidays, and like even just trying to load up the store page and stuff has been really tricky. So it's possible that it could have just been some weird Steam thing that day. Because I can't replicate it anymore. It literally was happening yesterday. It was every time I connected, I was able to make it happen. And now I can't. And I don't know what to do, what I did differently. I didn't do anything differently. This is exactly what I did. Open the game, host this save on Steam. Then over here, I open the game. I click on me on my friends list over here. You know? Boom. And then I click join. So, I don't know, man. It's also interesting that I tried to join, I clicked join again, it attempts to join the same server I'm already on. It's kind of funny. Legendary wallpaper? Yeah. It's pretty awesome, guys, not gonna lie. It's a classic. I mean, I can make a little fix to that one thing where if you join again on the same lobby, it should be really easy. All I have to do is just go in here, go into the Steam code, and when we say lobby join requested, instead of immediately running that, I want to make sure that I'm not connected to that lobby already. I don't know what lobby function I want. I think I can, like, say... There's somewhere where I check if I'm inside of a lobby. It's like on exit game. Yeah, Steam. Let's see. If Steam is lobby. I've seen since last year, but not the guy now. I know. It's been a whole year. That's crazy. How's it going, Military? Welcome in. How do I check if I'm already in the same lobby? I'm sure there's like a function for it in here. Okay, let's go to the real documentation. Godot Steam. Let's just go here. Oh, it's GitHub. Have to go, show me the documentation. Where's the website? Ooh. Where's the website? Bro. Okay, here it is. Hey, Iron 10 Studios, Happy New Year. Studio, Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. It's foggy out, so I didn't see a lot of explosions. Yeah, it's pretty clear out for me. I'll probably see some fireworks go off. Where's it under? It's like in lobby. It's not game server. I don't think so. I just want to get current lobby ID. Lobbies, here we go. Let's get lobby list. Joining lobbies. Join lobby. I just want to make sure that it's not the one I'm already in. Seems like it should be something relatively easy to do, but maybe not. Okay, there's just nothing about it. Get current lobby. There's gotta be a function for it. I'm just trying to return the ID of the current lobby I'm in, right? It's gotta be like Steam dot get lobby data. But I have to pass in an ID for that, so that doesn't work. Steam request lobby data. But I still have to get a lobby ID. Oh, can I say current lobby ID? No. Dang. Get him out of here. Okay. So hey Astro, welcome in. How's it going? How have you been doing? Happy New Year's. I guess we just got to go through every function. Is lobby. Get game server. Get owner. Member data. Owner. Type. Join lobby. Leave lobby. Create lobby. Delete lobby. There's nothing about lobbies. So is there no way to know my current lobby ID? It's too bad. 2026 for you already? Yeah. Yeah, I've still got 8 hours to go. Man. I don't know. I can't find a function that does what I want. I just want to get. Is there no way to know what current lobby I'm in? You know. Like, is there some kind of user? I mean, I could track my lobby, I guess. Close connection. I don't know. It's a little annoying. Yeah, I mean, I do get it when I join, but I just want to, because if I'm attempting to join the same lobby, I just want to, like, tell it, hey, don't do that, you know? So it's a little annoying that it doesn't work. But whatever. I think I might keep track of my lobby ID somewhere. Let's see. I do have lobby ID, but where do I set that and clear it? Let's find out. So I say that in, I'm pretty sure I'd call that in start connect. So in lobby created. Okay, connect status, blah, blah, blah. Set lobby joinable. Yeah, I set it to there. Start all that stuff. So 0 means that it's invalid. Okay, I should just always set that back to 0 regardless of whether it's a valid lobby anymore. So I think this should be good. We set the ID in there, and then here when we're creating the lobby. So we should be okay. What other lobby functions do I have? Member data, owner. Okay, it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can control click on Steam, see the dot. Yeah, I looked through there. I didn't really see anything. But it's fine. As long as we just keep track of our lobby ID and stuff, then we should be okay. I just need to make absolutely sure that we do reset it, though, right? So we say on exit game. But exit game doesn't always get called. I guess it probably does. I don't think there's anywhere else where I say reload current scene. Let's find out. Now, that's the only place. So we should be okay just setting lobby ID back to 0 right there. And then inside of Steam, we can make sure, you know, if lobby ID is not equal to our current Steam lobby. Then we go ahead and start connection. Otherwise here just print already connected to lobby plus string lobby ID. So that should work. Now if I attempt to join this game, it's gonna be like, hey, this is already the lobby you're on. The funny bug. That's my. It's not a bug. It's just a thing. Because my steering wheel is plugged in. For some reason, when it does that, I just forever move downwards. I don't know why. Okay. Let's go ahead and restart everything now, and let's commit these changes. So does that Steam to that change there? And then that one, yeah. Reject self connection. Joins. Okay. Boom. Let's try it out. Yay, 3 days watching me what game stream streak. Let's go. Thank you very much. And okay, let's go ahead and pull changes on my other computer. Now, the most frustrating thing about testing Steam's API for me was getting my second account's password to work. Oh yeah. And their CAPTCHA failed to work most of the time. That's strange. I've never usually had issues with that. No. Sometimes it's wacky if like their servers are very congested. Like I was trying to log in a couple days ago during all the sales stuff and it was just not working. So could have potentially been something like that. But yeah, it's strange. You're supposed to change it. You made a change and now you made changes to hundreds of lines of code. Yeah. No, I usually do that where I do a million things and then commit, but since I'm testing, I need to like test every little piece. You know, on multiplayer, I've been okay about it. Granopolis. Oh, I got a message from Ace Man. No, I didn't. Alright, let's join game. Should work. And then I want to try joining the same lobby that I'm already in. Oh. The bug happened again. So this is what happens when the bug happens. I don't know why. I don't know what causes this. But sometimes it just doesn't connect and then prints that forever. Ignoring delta for non-authority or invalid synchronizer. So I really don't know what's up with that. But see, it's like random. It's like it's fine forever, and then all of a sudden it decides to happen. So I don't know what's causing that. Ignoring delta for non-authority or invalid synchronizer. But like, what synchronizer is that for, you know? That's the thing. I don't know. I have a feeling it has something to do with the player scene, but I don't know. Also, there's no query. Their support never got back to me. That's too bad. Yeah, usually Steam support has been pretty good for me, although there has been a couple times where it's been a little frustrating. Like trying to get the dedicated server stuff to work. It took me like a month. Because I send a message, I tell them everything of what's happening, and then they tell me the same thing again. Finally, some other person came along after like messaging 3 different people, and they were like, oh yeah, this is just a problem with our system, sorry. And they fixed it. But yeah. Here's some people like Steam Support, so it's probably different offices or something like that. Yeah. Usually they're pretty good. The good thing is that they like, you can easily reopen your question if the first like person doesn't solve it. So you can just like, because it gives you that prompt of like, leave another message or close it. Have we solved your problem? And then they just send you off to a different person every time, which is kind of good because then you always get the like a new perspective on the problem, which is why you see like the joke, like the meme or whatever of people like asking nicely for their refunds, and then the next guy online on customer support is like, okay. But yeah, man, I don't know what is now causing this issue again. So, ignoring delta for non-authority or invalid synchronizer. I didn't see anything weird happen over here on the server. So it's almost like it just didn't even properly connect or something. I don't really know. Because I probably would have gotten a call on here that was like, hey. If a player tried to join. I'm just gonna print in here saying on Pure Connect. Let's go find where that is now. And then on Start Host, I just want to include that signal so I can debug it easier. It's right here, multiplier. So I say pure connected. Connect on pure connect. And I just want to have that function calling. Then over here, this is where we do the create lobby. Then that continues over in steam.gd. So that happens right here. connect. Okay. And then I also realize I don't have... Normally I have pure disconnected here. Do I not do that over here? I have connected to server. Oh, that's lobby joined. Duh. I need to do up here. Yeah, now we got pure disconnected. Then pure connected. Yeah, because I just want to see if I can glean anything from this. I probably won't be able to. I don't think it's gonna do anything. But I'm just curious to see, like, what is the order? What's the very moment? Like, is it actually, does the player ever get connected? Or is it just like, because it seems like they do. I don't know, it's really hard to say. Then also, does this pass it an ID? Yeah, it does. So I'll just say player with ID as connected. We can try that. Playing to the bot, nice on Twitch, yeah. Twitch is a funny platform. I love when Twitch decides to make the stream like 30 seconds out of sync. It's super cool. And everyone has to refresh the page constantly. YouTube doesn't do that. Okay, so I have that, all those signals set up now. Let's restart the game and stuff. See, it's like, it doesn't close over here. So I think it is successfully connecting to the server, but then once it connects to the server, it's just something like, doesn't work. Script had F strings. Yeah, I mean, you can do .format on strings, and that works pretty well, but it doesn't have it as like a built-in data type. Or like a, it doesn't have any like shorthand for that, I guess. Okay, so multiplayer. Opulus. Now let's try joining again, and let's hope and pray that the bug happens. Never wanted a bug more in my entire life. Okay, it doesn't work. Epic. It's so weird. Come on. No, it didn't happen again. Does it only happen like after the server forcibly disconnects or something? Because that would be interesting if that's what it is. I don't know. I want to ask, do you have some GG template that you follow? You're making like the first version of your GGD? Yeah. I usually just kind of break it up into the most important aspects of a game. I don't really have like a specific template. But for example, let's open Obsidian. I'm still trying to get this bug to happen again, but so far, no good. Okay. So I usually break it up into categories like gameplay, visuals, sound/music, you know, just all the main components. I think also another really important category that you should think about is like marketing and also like release plan, you know? Because if you want to actually release a game for real and make money, it's really important to know, you know, what your timeline is going to look like for that. You should never go into a game just being like, I'm just going to start working on this. I don't know when it's going to come out ever, but maybe one day. Because that's a recipe for disaster. You I think by doing that, you give yourself too much time. Like, and then you just end up in feature creep land. So I think it's really important to just like define when am I gonna, like, just all the main beats, like, you know, demo date, early access, you know, if applicable, then full release. Those are the main things that you should know about and figure out. And then I usually just have a section for an overview. I feel like this is a decent, you don't have to go super crazy, just enough to where you can like, and this stuff doesn't have to be super fleshed out, right? Because this is like more for just an idea. But I think these are all the things that are good to have filled out. I mean, you could add more on, but this, to me, knowing what all of these things are gives me a good idea of the game. So, and visuals is more like visuals / setting. I mean, you could maybe break that up into like visuals and then you have theme / setting, but they're usually all kind of tied together. So, and this one looks interesting. Let me take a look. Got it. Okay. Working title, concept statement. Yeah, it's always good to do one of those. This is basically like your elevator pitch. It's really a good idea to like know how you're going to explain your game. Because if you can't create a good I don't really call it a concept statement, an elevator pitch, then I think it's kind of, how are other people supposed to understand it then at a glance? Yeah, this is all good stuff. I would basically, this to me is sort of like the summary section, right? It's just the basic information about it. Title, super small overview, the genre, target audience, and selling points. Yeah, so this is pretty good. Then you got product design, experience in game path. I mean, I think it's good. There's a million different ways that you could organize it, as long as you've just got all the information in there. This is kind of more, I would probably, I mean, this is basically the gameplay section. And then this is more like lore, right? Where are you? The story of the player, emotions, visuals and audio. Game world fiction, a narrative. I would probably maybe retitle like the game world fiction, because you already ask up here what is the setting, which is, it's kind of repeating itself here. I think what's more important right here is to replace game world fiction with like the fantasy of your game. Like, what is your game offering that will let people be able to do? And the example I always use is like Schedule 1, right? It's like describing like, what are you doing as a player? What do you get to do? I think that's important to know. Monetization is fine. I usually don't worry about that part so much because I don't make free-to-play stuff and I don't do DLC or in-app purchases because I feel like those are a bro moment, but could leave it if you want. Platform technology and scope. This is talking about like all that stuff. I mean, this is fine being there. It feels like this should more be up here because this is like an overview of just the raw stats of the game. So I feel like it would just make more sense. This is like, I feel like this is sort of more, and scope. I think I would separate this stuff out. I'd move the platform and programming stats and information up here, then have a different section for this stuff, which is like how long to make, how big the team, basically the, you know, the release plan. And then we got all the gameplay stuff. Core loops. Objectives and progression. Those are fine. Game systems. Yeah, I think it's mostly good. There's just a couple things that I would probably change around. But I think this works fine. Yeah, I don't really, you know, do GDDs very much. The way that I sort of design and make games, I think is, I like to do it in a much more visual way. The issue I always have with GDDs is that it's just a big block of text and nobody's going to spend the time to actually read it and be on board, you know? I think it's so much better to like focus on, like, for example, I use Miro a lot for creating games. So like for Deadlift, you know, we've got like images and we do have a lot of text in here, but it's nice because I can like, it's just a little more dynamic. I can add little notes and it's like, instead of it being this like kind of set in stone list, it's this evolving like canvas of a concept, which I personally like better. Yeah, I mean, you can throw in pictures and graphs and stuff for sure. But yeah, I don't know. The GDD that I do is more of in this form where it's kind of just also my workspace to design the game. I did create a GDD for Starground a long time ago, but I haven't opened it since I created it, so. But yeah, there's a million different ways of, you know, developing and doing stuff, so there's no right or wrong way, really. Whatever way, the best way is the way that works best for you, so. Okay, so I got the bug again, but it's not throwing a billion errors this time. So we can clearly see the player did connect to the server. So like they have an ID and stuff, so we know that that's worked. But now why is it not working? There's this one, which is just the animation stuff. It didn't print out any errors. See, this is what's really weird about this bug. Sometimes I get these on Delta received errors, but then other times it's just nothing. And I don't know why it doesn't work. Yeah, I just have to find the way, yeah. I would just experiment. Try like a more traditional GDD and see how that goes. You could also mess around with doing something more like Miro, where it's like a canvas instead. I like that kind of vibe much better. But that's just me. So what's going on here? I don't know why it would just not work. It's almost like it's not receiving the RPC to verify the player. Because I think that's what's happening. Like, let's look at the code for the joining process, right? It's like start connect. And then if we're on here, we say Steam join lobby. So that goes to Steam, then on lobby joined. So we can see here, it started the initialization process. Loaded the stuff, reset our game variables. The world node was created. So what's the step that it's missing? Save loaded. I don't know. But it seemed like it never called on the server verify player, which is a little strange, right? So maybe that has something to do with it. Because we say lobby joined, blah, blah, blah. We do all this stuff. And it doesn't throw any errors. So like it does connect to the lobby. And then when we connect, we say initialize game. So it is running that in the output. I can see it says starting initialization. So it's going to load the game. We're not the server. So it should do all this stuff. Loading info and converting from null. Generates the quests. World node created. Where does the world node get created? I think that's probably in load game. Yeah, I do that in game reset. So I say game reset. Okay. So what's next? It should be doing all this stuff now. So it should say request tile data. So I'm just gonna print out in here. And then I wait for the world to get generated. So it's almost like, I think what might be happening is that the world just never gets created. So it calls request tile data. That sends an RPC to the server. I'm going to add another print statement here that's print. Let's get rid of that. Tiles requested from 0 format. Multiplayer to get remote sender ID. Just so I know when that's happened. Then let me make sure that this all works in here too. So we loop through all of the region IDs. We get the region. If it's not empty, we say done is false. So if we have tiles inside of there somewhere, then we set that to false and then we start the stuff. Oh, that's interesting. So we say send initial tile data, then the region key size. So I think what happens in here is we add all these, but we don't know what the total size is here because we're only getting the size of one region, right? So what we need to do is pre-calculate the region size. If I could copy Godot, okay. And say var tile size. And then for region ID and modified tiles, say tile size plus equals dot get region ID. And by default, that'll be dot keys dot size. All right. So that should return our total size. I don't know if this is going to do anything, but I just feel like this is probably a little more resistant to issues. Because I should only be finishing this once I hit total size. Okay. So now it's going to loop through there. Done is false for every coordinate inside of that region thing. Okay. Get the tile, then send it. So this is going to do send initial tile. And this is what I do inside of here. I set my modified tiles and I up tile count. Let's get rid of those. Then that also passes in my count. So I know how much, what the final size should be. And then if our tile count reaches greater or equal to that, then we know that it's ready. So we say set modified tiles ready. That's set to true. Because otherwise, if there is no tiles to synchronize, the server just immediately tells the player, hey, there's no tiles that I need to send over, so you're good to go. Right? I'm just going to assume that's going to help with this issue, but I don't know. Also, send initial tile definitely needs to be reliable. That could also be part of the issue, is that it doesn't send all of them over, so it kind of gives up halfway. And that would prevent you from connecting to the game. But that should be everything. And the verify player is set to reliable. So let's save that again. So we've made changes to that, so it says reliable. We add that signal. Get better calculation of total size. Okay. Now I'm gonna say group tile. Snooze the add. Commit the changes. And then let's see if this works. And I wonder if I should have some kind of like fail state where after a certain amount of time, if we don't get all of the tiles, it disconnects you from the game. But I don't know. As long as I mark it as reliable, we shouldn't ever need that though, because it'll eventually get there. You know, marked as reliable. Okay, let's go ahead and pull these changes again. I'm curious to see if this fixes the problem. We've got a lot more print statements in here now, so hopefully I get a little bit of a better idea of what's actually happening. Of where the problem begins. So sorry if I missed a bunch of messages in here. Yeah, I saw in the description. Gear baited. So confused. I clicked on it, the definition appeared. I was like, oh, Twitch adds a definition thing for slang. Oh, yeah. Oh, you had a plugin that randomly switches words to German. Okay, okay. More of a hobbyist, I think it's very helpful to imagine a moment of the game, just enjoying something. Yeah. I totally feel that, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just... anything really works. It's just what... GDD is for you to create the game, right? So I think the best kind of GDD is just the one that gives you the clearest vision of what you want to create. So... okay, so now it prints out requesting tile data. And now I know when the tile data is done because the world starts generating. So I'm hoping that that's all the bug was, which is just that when you're on a save, that would explain why it only happens on pre-existing saves with modified tiles and not on saves with, not on new saves. Because that was one of the strange parts about it. It never happens on manual connection because you rarely ever get drop packets on manual connection, but I think Steam does a lot of packet dropping. So that could explain why the game was breaking. Because you join, it would drop randomly one of the tiles that you request every so often. And then the game would freak out because of that. So I'm gonna guess that's what the issue was. If that is, then we're basically good to go. And now we are calculating the proper size, which is important. Yeah, because before we were doing it completely wrong. Because we would loop through each region, but now that we have multiple regions inside of modified tiles, the way we were doing it before doesn't work. How do I even copy this anymore? Yeah, I think I dynamically fill this out now. Just gonna say it's equal to that. Huh. I guess I do fill that out. Whatever, let's undo what we did. Whoa! Thank you so much for the sub with Prime, I appreciate it. Welcome in. Yeah, thank you very much. It's much appreciated. How are you doing? Happy New Year's. We are currently working on Starground. Snooze the ad. Modified tiles ready. Okay. So I think we're good to go. Now that also this is reliable, hopefully it stops dropping packets in the first place. Because if we get drop packets on the terrain synchronization, you're just going to see gaps in the terrain on multiplayer, which is bad. Welcome. It's got midnight here. Yeah, Happy New Year all. Happy New Year to you as well. I still got a while to go, but yeah. I was recently looking for if there's some working game dev wiki. Seems like there is none, which is pretty strange to me since there are a million tutorials on YouTube on everything around game dev, but nobody did a wiki. Yeah. I mean, there was that one wiki by Pirate Software, but probably not a super great source of information now that the truth is out. I've seen a couple of pretty interesting GitHub repos before. I can't remember if I favorited them or not because I'm stupid and just probably forgot to. But I think there was one that you sent, wasn't there, Spencer, where it was like a massive list of like just different like concepts to explore and stuff. Can't remember if I, yo, we got a hype train? Cool. Epic. Her wiki is good regardless of the actual person. Yeah, I've never actually read through it, so I don't know. But Prime gives you a sub. Yeah, it's because Twitch bought or Amazon bought Prime, or brain is dying. Amazon bought Twitch, so they do a thing where if you have Prime, you get a sub for free. Ah, it was AI generated. That's too bad. Yeah, it definitely would be neat. I've always really wanted to do like some more like, I don't know, kind of like blogs or just like technical write-ups of concepts and stuff. I think also especially from the business perspective of it, because I think that's the one thing that you definitely do not see enough of in terms of like game information. Like, there's plenty of people saying, here's how you build this thing, or program this, or draw this. But there's not a whole lot of people actually explaining the business side of it. You know, forming a company and earning money and working with a publisher, stuff like that, which are all extremely important if you want to make money, right? Hey, Astro! Thank you very much for the sub with Prime. Much appreciated. I actually got Prime because I got a free trial for Christmas presents. Oh, yeah. Went to cancel it on the 30th, but renews on the 29th. But thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Yeah, there are only a few talks they have to seek out. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it would be interesting to create like a write-up. Maybe one of these days I'll make a more serious website. Other than chipplays.com. I could just put that kind of stuff on bigboygames.net, I suppose. I could just make another tab or something. Yeah, because I've definitely learned a lot about all that stuff from releasing Starground. And I think it's so helpful, because if I knew those things going into it, I would have done so much better with Starground. Just like... There's just so many little like quirks and things that you should know about that it's really hard to know about unless you've been through it, so. Watching the last few streams, currently working on my first Godot project myself. Ah, nice. It's been fascinating watching you work on Starground Deadlift. With a grade, by the way. Well, thank you very much. Came from Unity. Godot is so much easier to work with. Yeah. I also used Unity before I started using Godot. I was making another game called Bounding Main in Unity. And it just was really a struggle. It felt like I was just constantly fighting against Unity instead of it actually being a useful tool for me. So I knew from the beginning it was like kind of like, I gotta figure something out here. I kept going with it just thinking, okay, it's probably just because I'm not used to Unity or whatever and I have to learn it. And I'm sure I would have gotten better at it eventually, but I just kind of hit a wall eventually where I'm like, this is just not even fun, and I don't want to work on this anymore. But that wasn't the only issue with Bounding Main, that's for sure. There's a lot of problems with just the design of the game. This is me yapping the entire time. Bro did not know how to make a YouTube video. But yeah, this is when I was making the monster. Work on the game. But yeah, this is Bounding Main.
And that's basically...
It was a struggle. It was kind of fun. I did learn some things about 3D, but overall it was sort of a waste of time trying to use Unity. So... Oh yeah, then I modeled this like underwater station. Which the models were fine and stuff, I feel like, but... I don't know. Yeah. Animated thing, let's go. So we got an ad starting in 1 minute. My apologies, or like 1 second. So, hey Ryan, welcome in. 5 stream streak, let's go. How are you doing? Happy New Year. Yeah, Greg, it has so much less setup and pretty much just gives you what you want. Exactly, yeah. It's so, like, much more lightweight compared to Unity. I feel like Unity has, like, a million different menus and sections and stuff that I feel like I have to get super familiar with to understand, but Godot is just extremely intuitive to me. Like, there's the list of my nodes, the inspector over here so I can see information about the nodes, my files, output, that's it. Like, obviously you have tabs, but they're very straightforward, you know? Project, you can export, you can go to the settings, like, I don't know. It's so much easier for me to navigate the editor in Godot, and I think that's been one of the biggest things to help me get better. Just the fact that I can actually focus on the development and not trying to figure out the UI. So that's been nice. Yeah, I found Godot layout really intuitive and easy to work with. Most stuff I can either figure out, only takes a few clicks to find. Yeah, it's just so many nice things about it. Unity might have the same thing, but I love how I can just control click on stuff and just instantly figure out, like for example, if I want to go find documentation on a certain node, like input, I just control click and boom, I'm here. I like how the documentation in Godot is formatted. It's just straight and to the point. So that's good. That's a good time. And I've really enjoyed programming in GDScript too. So I've some people don't like GDScript, but I feel like GDScript is a really good language for game development. It runs just fine. Most of the time you're never going to get performance issues. I mean, I've been able to make a whole automation game. Obviously, in Starground, once you build insane stuff, it starts to slow down. But it's pretty playable for most people. Yeah, it's been really good, though. I've had a good time with Godot. It's nice to have an engine that's, like, super powerful that I don't really have any major gripes with, that I also love using, you know? Because I've been through it all. Like, I liked using GameMaker, but it had a lot of technical limitations that was kind of stopping me from, you know, really going further with development and making more interesting things, right? Like, I never would have been able to make something like Starground in GameMaker. That would have been a nightmare. And Unity was definitely a powerful engine, but it was so difficult and unintuitive that didn't work out. Godot to me is the best of both worlds. Very easy and intuitive, and also absolutely capable of almost anything, which is awesome. So, hey, Luke Vaderson, welcome in. 20 stream streak, let's go. Thank you so much for coming in. And Happy New Year's. It's been a while, I haven't seen you streaming all year. I know, it's been a really long time, it's crazy. I'm using C# in Godot, and I find that works really nicely too. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I haven't used C#, but from what I've seen, it seems very similar to basically programming with GDScript, because you're calling the same functions and everything, you're just doing it through C# instead of GDScript, so yeah, totally looks like a good option for people that prefer C# more. Yeah, I just decided to learn GDScript. I wasn't really that good at Python before programming with GDScript, but I don't know. I think it was just really easy to pick up, and I just decided, yeah, I'll just use GDScript, because why not? And I probably definitely made the right decision. But for me, obviously, there's no absolute right decision. It just depends on what you're most familiar with. Yeah, I think I've had a much more enjoyable time using GDScript than C#. I just like how fast the syntax is, personally. Where I can be like, boom, and enter, and then I'm immediately writing another line. Brackets and stuff are fine. I think they can be good for organizing stuff better than you can in Python type syntax, but they're both good. And honestly, this is kind of coming down to brass tacks. I mean, They're both totally good languages. I could easily use either of them, but I just had to pick one, so. Anyways, I hope this fixes all the multiplayer stuff. I mean, we can try reconnecting over and over and over and just see if we ever, over here on the server, see if we can ever get it to error state. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But at least it's probably much more reliable than it was, so that's important. Let's just keep quitting and rejoining over and over. So we got ads now. My apologies, gamer. Yeah, Abra, welcome in. How's it going? Happy New Year's. Yeah, let's start going. It's going. It's always something, some kind of new problem with this game, isn't it? But, I'm trying to get it all figured out. I think I've got it. There's this multiplayer bug that's been very annoying recently, which is, I think I finally figured out what was causing it, which had to do with the terrain generation. Because sometimes what would happen, specifically through Steam connection, it tends to drop a lot of packets. So sometimes it would mean you don't get all the requested, like, land tiles back from the server. And then your world never generates and nothing happens. Also, like, already connected lobby, blah, 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 so that works well. I also fixed the issue where you could connect to the same lobby you're already joined on. So let's throw in a couple more things, or let's start writing a changelog, right? Fix an issue where could join already connected to. Sometimes a packet be dropped while synchronizing land tiles. Get stuck on the loading screen. That's one of the things we did. What else have we done? Done all of these ones. Oh yeah. It's an issue with dialogue voice timers being set to 0. And I think that's mainly all the things that we did. But I'm hoping that it just makes everything better. Let's keep testing it though. Let's disconnect and reconnect over and over and over until we're a little more confident that it works. Let's also try with a much larger world just for fun, like one that's one of the insane ones, you know? I mean, this one's not small, but I want to try like one of the one of these in here. We could try Yes World. I think that's yours, Offenser. Oh, did I just do single player? I think I did. Right, ads are over, everybody. Sorry about the ads. I do apologize. Multiplayer bugs are extra confusing because you can't just look at something as a player and say that's not intended. Yeah, I know. It's really hard. Yo, Season, welcome in. Thank you for the cheese time. How's it going? It's okay, the cheese remains. Oh no. Hey, it's not my fault if somebody decides to stop the cheese time, okay? It's out of my control. Neighbor's pretty evil, guys. I'll throw in a cheese time. Give up, yeah. Why did I make clear cheese time a thing? I believe in the philosophy of giving everybody all of the tools. It's not up to me on how you guys decide to use those tools, you know what I mean? I don't know. Because sometimes it's really annoying if the cheese time goes insane. And if people are not happy with the cheese time, then you can express your opinion and do something about it now. You got a second? I did send you DM about some things? Okay, cool. I can call after stream and stuff, and we can go over stuff. Also, thank you for the speed. Okay, so we're on this save now. Let's go ahead and try and connect. It should probably work, but it might be pretty crazy. Sure, we're gonna get quite a few errors trying to connect. Looks like we definitely are. It's still throwing a million errors about delta for non-authority or invalid synchronizers. So there definitely is something to that error. And there's also this one, which I find very interesting. On spawn receive condition parent has node name is true. So this is, I think they're two separate bugs. They result in the same issue, but I believe these are different mechanisms on how this is happening. I'm not sure what happened here. On spawn receive. I presume it has something to do with like this, the structure of the scene. But we should have world in here. Let's make sure. Yeah. So we have world. World has the spawner. All of these guys. Spawn path, which is set to the world. I don't know why there's an empty string in here. That's weird. Why is that the case? Let's go look at the world scene. Why would there be an empty string? Let's go into spawner table. Yeah, I wonder what would be adding in an empty string. This isn't the real Loon Boon. Let's go into mod API. And then we have that one function that's like add spawner table. Add spawner entry. So if it doesn't have it, and I also want to say if it's, I want to make sure it's a valid resource, right? I think I can say is, what is it? Resource something? I've done this before. I think it's resource loader. There's like a function in here to check if a scene is real. How do I check that? I know I've done this before. Okay, you just say dot exists. So if it doesn't exist, then we're going to go ahead and say return. And I also want to print in here. Scene at... Hey, thank you for the follow, Dr. Barney. Much appreciated. Does not exist. Now let's format that. I mean, this could have something to do with it, potentially. I just want to see which, where that function is coming from. Is instance valid? Instance valid is for a node that already exists. This is checking if a string, like a path name, is valid. So it didn't look like it added in any things in the spawner. But yet, when I load into a game, unless actually, no, it does it when world gets instantiated. So let's load up yes world again. Then let's just see. And if there's any issues, it should print an error. What's that world node created? So everything should be okay. If we look inside of here in the spawner, see there's two just empty entries and I don't know where these come from, right? It does say unrecognized UID, which is strange. So is this not empty or something? Weird. So understand Twitch, does subscribe and cheering give you money? Yes, it does. Yeah. Whenever somebody subscribes or cheers or does any of that stuff, I earn a little bit of money. It's not very much, so like don't do it if you want donations to be effective, but I prefer you guys just buy the game. But I get a little bit. But I would treat it more as like subscribe only if you just want it for the features it offers. Like I should not really be a part of the equation, you know? So if you don't want ads, then that's the reason. What am I making? Right now we're just fixing some bugs with Starground. This is a game I've been working on the past 2 years. It's a combo of automation and dungeon crawling. It's also multiplayer, and those are the bugs we're trying to fix right now. It's all the multiplayer stuff. I'm just trying to figure out why. So there's this thing, for anybody that doesn't know, called the spawner node, and this has a big list of all of the file paths of objects that should synchronize between server and client. But for some reason, 2 of these are just empty. They're set to null or something. It's an unrecognized UID. So something's a little strange about that. I'm trying to figure out where that's getting added. So that's just setting up the tile maps. So this is where it happens. Okay, I just say add spawnable scene. Interesting. So I guess I need to check it in here. I'm just gonna print if it's empty, then it should say something. I don't think it actually matters if there is an empty string in there, but I don't really know. Maybe it does matter. Also, sorry, I didn't say that. What does gifting subs do? It does the same thing, basically. It's just receiving a sub, but giving it to somebody else. So, that's pretty much it. So none of the strings are empty. Then why is there empty stuff in there? I don't get it. It's a little weird, guys. What are these from? 170, 171. Okay. This doesn't make any sense. So it has a UID, but it just doesn't have a path, which is extremely strange. Well, what would have a UID and doesn't have a path inside of the game, right? Alexa, fan on. We could say ei.add spawner entry. I don't know if I use that anywhere. Okay, so I do that. But I should be checking now in that function for empty strings, so... But I guess wherever that is, it does have a... It is a real location. It's very strange. I mean, I don't know if that's even a problem or not, but it just seems like it could be, you know? I don't know. But yeah, this is the funny thing about multiplayer, is that I never know if something is actually bad or if it's not. And I'll never know. Alright, well, what else can we do? Let's load back into here. Because I would really love to figure out this issue. I think it's the only other... I'm sure there's more multiplayer bugs, but... the other one major issue that I'm aware of, at least. Banger alert, I know. Goes hard. So, it's interesting. It gets to requesting tile data, right? And that's where everything goes bad. Which is strange. Because I guess what's going wrong? Because it doesn't ever start the world generation. Which is a little funky to me. So here's what we see in the output. Requesting tile data, and then that's it. And it just stops forever. So why is that? Oh, man. We do the initial request. Hey, Hypnotic Games, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? Happy New Year to everybody. Whether it's Eve or post-New Year. Yeah, what's going on? What were you up to today on your stream? Bubble Shop sim work. Nice. Yeah, that's been looking pretty cool. Some overlay updating work. Cool. It's good stuff. Yeah, we've been just working on some bugs in Starground. Had some really weird multiplayer issues. I'm so sick and tired of fixing these multiplayer bugs, guys. Yeah, I've already said in the stream, but I feel I feel like I never want to do ever again a multiplayer game to this scale of like Starground. Just having so much information I have to synchronize and stuff, because there's just a million things that can go wrong. It's a nightmare. I'm tired of it. Next two games are going to be single player, because I don't know if it's really worth it. Who knows? Maybe it's the only reason I made any money on Starground, and that turns out I have to. But we'll see. But yeah, it's definitely annoying. But yeah, I'm just going through the code. I have another game pulled up on the side on my my server computer. I'm just trying to figure out what is causing these issues. Basically, the issue that happens is we connect to the server, like somebody starts hosting on Steam only. Then we connect, it almost gets there, but then it gets stuck on requesting tile data and then just stops. And it doesn't go any further than that. And then after that moment too, it just starts screaming in the debugger about invalid synchronizers. So that's what's going on. I keep seeing a couple weird ones like invalid data. And I have a feeling it has something to do with those empty... For some reason inside of our... and then also there's these ones. Parent is null. I don't know what all these things are complaining about. But I'm sure these all have something to do with our problems. I mean, this is just saying that a synchronizer has stopped working. And this one's saying parameter parent is null. I don't know what that like really means. I would assume that it means for some reason that like the root node that the spawner specifies is gone. But we need to look up this error. It's null. Scream about invalid syncs. Okay, I know, it's annoying. It's too much data to send at once. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't think so. I don't think there's a limit on like data amount. There is on per packet. If you send one packet over that's too much, then it causes issues, but I don't think that's the issue, because it's a very specific error that it throws when that happens, and it's easy to fix that. Well, not easy, but at least it's obvious on how to fix it. We'll wait for info for the remote. Yeah, that's what we do. If it is, make sure it's reliable then. You can set that in the RCP. Use TCP instead of UDP. You mean RPC? Well, yeah. I am using reliable RPCs to synchronize terrain data, so it's something to do with the synchronizer nodes. Unless it is the spawner node, I'm not really sure. It's one of these things. Just gonna see if anybody has figured it out. What is this? Blah, blah. I don't know if that's really the thing here. I use synchronizer nodes in my game. I just use RPC and send over the seed. Yeah. That's also what I'm doing. Yeah, I just don't know what... See, this is the problem. I have no idea what synchronizer is causing the issue, because for some reason, all of the error messages with Godot multiplayer sucks. It doesn't give me any information about where this error is stemming from. And that's kind of the problem here, right? Because it just tells me the C++ location of the file, but not like what synchronizer is doing this, you know? Which one is the invalid synchronizer? I wish it told me stuff like that. And I am seeing a lot of really weird issues in here. Yeah, it's like parameter parent is null. Why? It's like it's just failing to do any spawning stuff, right? I don't know why. And these are the only two that I see here. Unless there's somewhere where I'm saying add child without calling true. Because, I mean, that could potentially happen. Interesting. Yeah, I just say add child true, but I do that everywhere. Spawn node / spawn path. My multiplayer spawner point to a node of general type node, which does not have a name attribute. That's not true. Because, I mean, am I seeing, let's look in the remote tree here. If I, oh, I guess I closed the server. If I join the server, I want to see if there's any objects actually getting created. I tried disabling all one at a time. I wish it were that easy, but unfortunately we have hundreds of synchronizers in the game, so I'd be here for a week. There's no way I can do that. Okay, let's give this another try. I'm just gonna kind of look through the remote view, see if there's any kind of weird problems with node names. I really doubt there is, but you never know. Should be spawning in all these things normally. The tile map layers actually do not have true names, but I don't think that matters because these don't actually interface together on multiplayer and they don't spawn, so that shouldn't matter. The only times it matters is for nodes that I want to be spawned through multiplayer, right? So like all of these nodes, the iron rocks and stuff, those are all good because their names are unique. And these are all good. These all look fine. They all look okay to me. So it's not any of those. Man. I freaking hate multiplayer. I don't know. It just starts complaining forever. Invalid synchronizers. And this is like a weird different one. On despawn received error unauthorized. Like, what is that one? Is there anything about that one? This one? Unfortunately, there were no comments. Info has net ID. It's true. Let's take a look at these. Hey, Game Devable, thank you so much for the 35 stream streak. That's crazy. Welcome in. Happy New Year's. I'm not seeing anything in here. I don't know what it is about this save specifically that causes it, right? And this is the other thing too, is it's so random. I bet if I host a different save, like the Chronopolis save, it's just not going to happen anymore. So there must be something fundamentally problematic about that save, but I just don't know what. Because now I'm joining, and I joined successfully this time. So what is it that makes that other save specifically an issue to join, right? I don't really know. Is it like some kind of weird corrupted, you know, data it's trying to send over? Something that's not expected? I have no idea. But it just doesn't want to work. You can see it instantly requests the tiles. And it takes a minute, like, it's not throwing the errors yet. So it's probably sending all the tiles over. But now it's not doing anything. So something's still happening on that step, I think, with tile synchronization. Because again, why is that the part where it all breaks down, right? Because I don't get any errors thrown before that point. But now what else is wrong? I'm going to go ahead and add another print statement on the client side, which is that when we have that initial tile sent, I want to know what my tile count is. Free except after C. Rule doesn't even apply. So now I can specify tile count and then count. So now I'll know what tile has been received. Just gonna throw a billion things in the logs, but it's okay. We'll have to fix this spelling error. Connected. Then, let's see, send initial tile. Say, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Twitch finally loaded the stream. Yeah, it's specifically your save. I don't know what is going on. I'm just throwing in more print statements so I know when everything is happening, and hopefully I can kind of figure out, like, where the issue is caused. Right? So add more print statements. Let's commit those. Fetch those. Oops, I didn't push origin. But yeah, what's happening is that it's fine for every other save, but then on your save, and it might be the case for other large saves like that. It probably has something to do with the quantity of data being sent, as my assumption. Can't let this stream again? That sucks. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you could just try, like, lowering the resolution, maybe? Okay, let's give this another try. So we load up Yes World, does all the usual stuff. Just loading up our save data. And boom. So when I join, let's see what gets printed out now. Okay. So you can see it requests 30 tiles and then just gives up. So why? You can see it should be sending over 3,000 modified tiles, but it just chooses not to. But at least we know what's happening. But why? Is there some kind of like per frame RPC limit that I'm not aware of, you know? But I've never had issues with that before, which is really strange. A similar issue with a different streamer earlier, just kept buffering and the player eventually crashed. Yeah. Does sound like some Twitch shenanigans to me. That's so weird that this just failed. So for region ID, we get total size. That's size. It should be working. And it's looping through region ID. We get the region, as long as it's not empty. And then we say for each coordinate inside of region. Then we say send initial tile. I don't even know, man. Is it because it's reliable, I wonder? I don't even know. Check your opus. It's kind of crazy. I can check that out. So the same amount of tiles each time. Let's check that. It should be 3,669. So let's go ahead and do the same save again. It's a really weird bug. It's hard to tell if it's something wrong with my code or if it's like some weird, like, multiplayer issue, you know? So I can't join. Did I connect through the wrong? I think I did. Steam. Let's try that again. There we go. Now it lets me join. Okay, I'm joined. Let's join the game. You should start seeing it in here. Okay, so you can see it definitely attempted to send 3,669 tiles. But it seems like it just randomly stops working after a certain amount of tiles. Right? Which is really odd. So the issue, for some reason, is that these tiles just aren't getting sent. And I don't know why. Maybe it is because it's set to reliable now? Because I'm just not receiving any other RPCs. It's like dropping almost every single RPC. Deliberately put a delay between each tile sent. I can. But imagine that could potentially cause issues, though. Because if the tile map gets edited while somebody's joining, it's going to break everything, but we could try. Yeah, maybe it's just like there's only a certain amount of RPCs you can send in one frame or something. Yeah, let's look that up. Yeah, let's try it out. I don't know if this will work, but I think I can just add a frame delay in between each one, at least. Let's process a physics frame. Or await a physics frame. Like that. So that should wait one physics frame in between each packet, which is 60 FPS. Theoretically. So let's try again. Tiles requested. Okay. So far, so good. It's sending all the RPCs. It's taking forever, though. And it is throwing a bunch of errors. It's still complaining about invalid synchronizers. It's probably because, like, the world hasn't been generated yet or something, and so it just... Let's see if these all get sent. Excuse me. So, there was definitely some packet loss still. There's still like 100 packets that we didn't get. So it's just like some kind of weird RPC issue. Yeah, it was definitely better. So it makes me think that maybe there's some kind of problem with using reliable. Like, maybe what I need to do is have it on some transfer channel. Let's see, string authority. I guess I have to define all this stuff now. Authority. Call remote. I think call remote is the default. And then 1 for a transfer channel. I mean, I can change it to be unreliable, but then I imagine we're going to get dropped packets. It's weird, though, that reliable doesn't actually seem to be reliable. Right? Maybe reliable is kind of a scam. Let's try doing this with on a different channel, setting it to unreliable. See if this helps. And since we've made all those changes, I also want to go back into here. And get rid of that await. Change tile sync mode. I just want to see what this does. Let's close that out. Sure, change. Okay. Etch the change. Let's see what happens. It'll be interesting if this solves the issue. Because I don't need these to be ordered. It's because the way I keep track of the number, I send the number that it should be by the end. So it doesn't matter what order the tiles come in at. I don't think reliable is actually reliable then. Because it seems like it just fails and never works again anyways. So... let's try this out though. Really makes me rethink all of the times where I've specified reliable, you know? Maybe it doesn't matter as much as I think. Let's see what happens. Nope. Doesn't work. Well, this is problematic, isn't it? So it still just sends a couple, sends like 30 tiles, and then stops forever. Changing the channel didn't seem to matter at all. The reason I can't do that is because of size limits. If I send a packet that's too large, then it just fails to send. It refuses to. Which is too bad. I wish I could, but... what else can we do to get around this issue? We're on a completely different channel now, so I feel like that should help, but it doesn't seem to do anything. I almost wonder if it has to do with Steam's quote-unquote optimizations, which is the two that they do. They do like a packet dropping thing, right? Because I'm curious to see, does this happen on my home network, right? Let me log into my router panel and see if I can host this. What's wrong? One. I'm gonna port forward really quick. Let's Go into here, port forwarding. See if I have one set up already. Which I do. But I don't know what my current private IP is. When I check that, I can just like do command prompt IP config. Okay. Yeah, because if I'm seeing the same issues, then I know that it's not something to do with Steam specifically. But I have a very strong inkling that it has to do with Steam specifically. Should need to port forward for local traffic. Technically not. But I want to try like running it through, you know, doing the same setup as I would connecting online. So that's why I'm doing it this way. All right. Let's go ahead and try this out now. Okay, so we're gonna do multiplayer. I don't think IP really matters there. That's World 31. Now we're gonna connect manually. So the same issue like before. This is a different issue now. I don't think it's the same one as the last one that we messed with. Okay, so that's interesting. It still fails to receive all the tiles. So we really got to figure out what to do about this then. So it tells me that it doesn't have anything to do with Steam. This is a Godot multiplayer specific bug. Well, I don't know if it's a bug or just something that I'm doing wrong. But yeah. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. So, hey, definitely a Happy New Year. Welcome in. Happy New Year to you as well. It's already 2:30 a.m. here, so I'm glad. Yeah. As I can watch on YouTube. Oh, yeah, you could just do that, Spencer. That would work. It's any modified tiles. They're all the same system now. So whether it's a floor tile that you build or just a land tile, it's the same. So yeah, what's happening is on this save specifically, you have 3,000 modified tiles. I begin to send over the modified tiles, but then it gets to like 100 tiles and just decides to stop. So there's definitely like something weird. Like this is really my issue. We're dropping our RPCs, packet losses. Version of all RPCs to 0. Cannot replicate the bug. I don't make any assumptions on order of delivery. I don't really know what else to do about this. Is there some kind of like setting for like maximum number of packets or something, you know? I don't really know. I think it is a limit on packets per frame, but even then, where do those 100 missing ones go? I know, right? It's weird. As the multiplayer build does use eNet. Yeah, it uses, I think Godot, I'm using high-level multiplayer with Godot. I'm pretty sure that's like a eNet implementation. But there's limits in here. TLS. Connect timeout is 10 seconds. Max buffer. Over this size data is dropped. Max characters per second. That's the debugger. So that's literally the only thing is the packet pure stream and then TCP connection timeout. So I don't think it's really any of that stuff. Well, that doesn't help then. Should look at Opus. If there are the many tiles with holes there are not causing some weird issues. I don't think, like, it shouldn't be any issue with the tiles themselves. Let's go to Opus and just take a look and see what's going on there. Yeah, it's just so weird, though, that it just doesn't send them all. Almost wonder if I need some kind of different, like, mechanism for sending this initial data. Well, that seems a little ridiculous. Yeah, this should totally be fine. I mean, I don't see how this would be an issue, honestly. It's just a bunch of tiles. It has a big dictionary of all the tile positions and data. And then it sends them over. So it should be okay. It's funny, I don't see my cursor on here. Maybe a bug I have to fix. Oh, this is because I'm at the bottom of the world. And over here I was at the outside of the world. Okay, we're good. I mean, it should be fine, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think there's any problem in particular with the layout of your tiles or anything. Like, it's just some weird bug. I don't even know if it's a bug, though. This is the thing. I have no idea. Is it because this one is reliable? I wouldn't think that would matter. It probably is also happening on other saves, I presume. It's definitely got to be some issue with just sending over so many packets, I guess. I don't know. RPC ID. RPC config. The channel. The authority. Transfer mode. See right here, packets must be received and resend attempts should be made until packets are acknowledged. But it just doesn't work. Transfer mode reliable. So we got ads going on. RPC mode. Authority only. Why would this be a problem? Subzac, can't believe we're all retiring after the stream. I know. It's crazy. It's the final stream ever, totally. Welcome in. Happy New Year's. I know it's not the New Year yet, but happy New Year's Eve. Believe it or not, I'm fixing multiplayer bugs again. Isn't that super cool? Isn't that awesome? It's really epic. It's like there's other classes here. There's like UDB. No, this isn't a real thing anymore, I guess. There's Packet Pure UDP. What does this do? Can be used to send and receive raw UDP packets. There's a whole thing. I've got to like bind it separately and, you know, seems like it's not. It seems like it would be stupid to do this. I'm working at double again. Nothing ever changes. That's a bro moment, dude. I hope we make $1 million so you can quit your job. How can I reproduce it? What you need to do is host a world. It's easiest through Steam, but apparently you can also do it through manual connection. So host a world, a large world with lots of modified tiles, and then just join. Make sure, I recommend going on the branch I'm on right now, which is Steam connection issues right here. Because I've got a bunch of different print statements for like the tile count and stuff already set up. But yeah, I don't know if the issue happens on local connections. I think it might not, because I don't think you get packet loss on a local connection ever. So you might have to test it like by port forwarding your computer and stuff, and then connecting on a different computer. I don't know, this is the problem. It's kind of really hard to test it. I hate testing multiplayer bugs. But if you need me to join your game, if you're like publicly hosting it, I can do that. Just so that you get the error messages. Or you can try joining me. That would also work. So I'm just looking through different, like, there's a thing called a packet peer. I think this is the base class that manages the sending of packets. Code buffer. I don't know, maybe in the future I should implement my own packet system instead of using high-level multiplayer, you know? Found a new multiplayer bug when exiting the game. Yay. Is it, what's the bug? RPC config. So this definitely always gets cold. Alright, send initial tile. A channel of 1 right now. So putting on a different channel doesn't seem to matter at all. I think I quit server and then I kind of unloaded structures but let me in it. That's strange. Did it not immediately remove you from the game? Let's see. How many channels are there for an RPC? Okay, so it doesn't even seem to matter to use these channels. Because it uses 3 separate ones for the different modes anyways, so... We could try unreliable ordered. See if that works. Since it's just one line, I'm just going to go to send initial tile. And just change it in there. Let's try this again. Just screenshot? Okay. It's pretty weird. This looks like, were you joining my server? Or, how did you, or were you joining yourself? Yeah, this happens sometimes, I think, when... This used to happen all the time, but I've since fixed most of the... Okay, locally, interesting. That's weird. Did you get any errors when this happened? This usually happens when the player, for some reason, does not get created. So it causes this to happen. So you still have, like, a camera? Or you don't have a camera defined, but it gets rid of the loading game screen. I don't know how this happened for you. That's kind of weird. I haven't seen that happen in a long time. Ugh. Strange how there can be almost infinite amount of bugs and finite amount of code. That's multiplayer for you. It's really cool. I love multiplayer, guys. Yeah, so just receiving like 30 tiles. I wish I knew an amount of tiles that was like reliable, but I just don't. Even sending them to remove multiplayer from Starground, I wish. Well, she puts out his bangers, which they make more for stream. Yeah, they're pretty awesome. It's so weird because even doing a complete await frame between packet sends is still, it still drops some. Right, so it just seems stupid. It seems like no matter what I do, am I gonna have to wait like 2 physics frames? But that's gonna take a million years. I don't want to wait that long. We could try some other stuff. Like we could send a couple different packets. But that's complicated. I'll just wait a process frame maybe. I don't know anymore. Maybe we await a timer. Set it to true. Wait, no, don't set it true. Timeout. I doubt it's gonna do anything, but let's see what happens. Basically, all of the errors are failed to get path from RPC. Yeah. That's just the typical stuff. Is there a way to resend the lost packets? I don't know. Maybe we could, like, do, like, a couple passes or something where it tries to send the packets multiple times and then we fill in the gaps. But that just seems like I shouldn't have to do that, you know? So I've got it set up again to do the delay in between each packet sending. And this is on unreliable mode compared to the last time we tried this, which was on reliable mode. So let's see what happens. The thing that sucks though is it takes forever for the game to load. Like if you want to join your friend, you have to sit here and wait like a minute, which is stupid. So I don't know. So, hey, Casper, welcome in. How's it going? Happy New Year's. So that cannot even close with the X symbol of the window? That's really strange. Sending every individual tile? Yeah, we just loop through the list of all of the modified tiles and just send them over. And the thing is, it's really not that many packets in the grand scheme of things. 3,000 packets is nothing. Like in a couple frames of playing the game, you send 3,000 packets over through synchronizers. So it's very strange to me that somehow that would be too much for the game to handle. It doesn't make any sense. It's not like these packets are particularly huge either. It's just stupid. I don't know if there's any way for me to optimize the packets. I could like take the tile ID and position and convert it into like a hex value and then unconvert it, but is it really even going to make a difference in the end? I don't know. Okay, let's see if we get all the packets. It's taking a really long time. 3K packets data, not that much. 3K packets cigarettes, way too much. Yeah, that's true. Another thing I think of is send tiles in chunks. Then the issue that you run into is that each packet starts to become too big. But here's the thing too, is eventually the problem is just going to happen again. What if somebody just builds more tiles and then it just, the whole issue repeats itself again, you know? This is the issue. So it still dropped a bunch of packets. It still dropped like 50 packets. So, I don't know why. It's very frustrating. Because I'm giving it this enormous delay between sending each one, and it still doesn't work. Ooh. Let's just get rid of all the RPC stuff. Just set it to good old plain RPC. Restart the server. That crazy skateboard glitch? Yeah, that one was wild. With the NAN position coordinates and stuff. Luckily that one was easy to fix though. This is the thing that I've realized about multiplayer, is that multiplayer bugs don't really get that much easier with time. It's not like I start to get better at dealing with these bugs. They just always suck regardless. But I feel like when it comes to regular base game non-multiplayer issues, it's like eons easier, you know? Because I can trace it. It's always a reliable order. I can figure out where it goes wrong, fix that moment in time, and then it's gone. But when it comes to multiplayer, it's like you never really know if something's fixed or not. It's like everything's just a theory that's being applied, and you hope and pray that it does fix it. But then somebody has a slightly different setup where the timing of sending packets is ever so slightly different and everything dies again. So... Says he's missing 50 packets. Well, I've done it also in non-unreliable mode, in reliable mode, and it still does the same thing. So I can specify it as being reliable, and we'll do it just for fun. What's going on here? Send initial tile. So now it's on reliable mode. Now watch this. It's totally gonna work, right? You'd think reliable means reliable, and it would do what it says it does. It says in the documentation, reliable mode will send packets that were failed, like that didn't ever get received, right? Seems pretty obvious to me. It seems like you would just enable that setting and then everything is fixed. But now if we go back into Yes World and we try loading in again, I'll show you guys it doesn't work. And it's so stupid. Yeah, I was missing just the same amount of packets as it was on Unreliable, so it seems like it doesn't even really matter. Just so stupid. I don't know. Someone has a kitchen that's way too close to his modem, which causes massive delay. This game, you gotta fix it. Yeah. Oh, man. In fact, as far as I understand, Reliable uses the TCP protocol and Unreliable uses UDP. That is correct, yeah. They're just different ways of sending packets. UDP is basically just like throwing a bunch of things at somebody and not like waiting for a response back to check if a packet has been received. So it's kind of just like you get most of them. So it's great for things like, for example, player position, right? Because it's okay if you miss one or two packets here and there, it doesn't matter. But when it comes to something like this, I need to make sure that every single packet gets sent because otherwise the world does not load. I mean, I could just ignore the packets that don't get sent, but that's going to be a massive issue because now all of a sudden there's just going to be chunks of the world that are missing, right? That's not a very practical solution. So. But now we wait. I mean, is there anything I'm doing wrong with the way I'm sending packets? Because as far as I can tell, everything seems pretty normal. We call request tile data first. And that gets called from the client to the server, saying, hey, I need my tiles. Can you send me all the tiles? So it gets the total size of all of the tiles combined. It loops through each region, and then it sends an RPC for each tile. In theory, it should work fine. But I don't know, man. Now we wait. We're approaching the 3,000 tiles. But this is a completely... like, the time it takes to send all these is ridiculous, so we can't do this. Even if a delay does fix it. And it still doesn't send over all the packets. So what am I doing wrong? It's on reliable mode. Literally in the documentation, if we go and read what reliable means in RPCs, right? Reliable. We can go to multiplayer period, transfer mode. Wherever it is. See transfer mode. Here we go. Okay, transfer mode reliable. Packets must be received, and resend attempts should be made until the packets are acknowledged. Right? Packets must be received in the order they were sent. Most reliable transfer mode, but potentially slowest, which I don't care about, because you're just loading the world initially. Used for critical data. Must be transmitted and arrive in order. Right? So, is there some kind of bug with Godot? Because I don't know what to do anymore. Unless what I do is I create a completely different, separate network connection to send these over, but that's ridiculous because I can't get the IP for somebody through Steam, so I can't even do that. Oh, do you, if it's feasible, could you add someone to the team as a network guru? Well, it's easier said than done. I don't have any money to pay anybody, so that's a major issue. And, I don't even know anybody that knows networking multiplayer stuff, specifically with Godot, so, yeah. Are you creating the server and code? There's supposedly functions that let you set the bandwidth limit. We can go to where I'm doing that and start host. So we can go to, there's probably some settings like for multiplayer pure interface, like if we could set the limits here. Net signal. Those are just all standard node. Here, let's look in here. Nope, that's not the node that I want. Where's the multiplayer node? So it's really multiplayer API. And then it has all these functions. Pull, RPC, set default interface, object configuration, which is not really what I need. Ugh. Get peers, get unique ID, remote sender ID. So there's really nothing in here that I can do. Yes, that doesn't work. If you're using reliable mode and you're not getting them, doesn't that just mean you're not accurately triggering the RPC for each tile? Well, I don't know how that would be the case, though. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if we go to request tile data, all I'm doing is just looping through and sending an RPC. I'm even awaiting until the next, like, just waiting a random 0.01 seconds just because it seems to be more reliable that way. But I'm not even doing anything weird. I'm just looping through a dictionary and sending over some data. So I don't even know what the problem with that would be. I'd be sending a specific tile ID, position and list to the packet at the end of sending tiles. Yeah. Send finished packet, client validates tiles received, and then if any are missing, collect those missing numbers and set a request to resend the tiles. Yeah. I could. It's just stupid, though. Reliable mode, it sends them and then double checks that you have them. Yeah, it's crazy that it's not working. I don't know. See, this is the thing. Like, I could do my own system of making sure that packets are reliably sent. But why isn't it just working? Because, like, it's in the documentation and this is the way it should work. So it really feels like it's almost like just a bug with Godot. I don't know what else I could do to fix it. We could try just for fun increasing the packet limit The size limit, I really don't think it's a size constraint, because it's not. But, like, let's up the maximum buffer size. So that ups it to 32 bytes, which is really big. So that's gonna be... That's probably too big. Because that's gonna be 2 million or 2 billion or whatever. Let's try like a 24-bit. Is 24 power of 2? I don't know. Well, no, it's not really. Let's try 32. Let's say save and reload. I mean, this is a bad idea because you don't want somebody to send a 2 gigabyte file, a 2 gigabyte packet. It's never going to get sent, right? But at this point, I just kind of want to practically disable our limits and just, like, see what happens, you know? We try with an array instead of a dictionary? I mean, I really don't think it's the way I'm looping through. I printed out before printing in here each time that I send that I call this, like, section of code. And the number that I'm sending is the exact same as my total count, right? So I know that it's correctly sending this every time. It's possible you're not actually calling the RPC line, though. No, I'm pretty sure I am. I'm quite confident that it is calling all of these RPCs. I can print in here just to confirm. I'll just say sent RPC, and you'll see it's going to print out 3,669 times or whatever. Let's load the game back up now. Try with an array instead of a dictionary. I'm pretty sure that the way I'm doing it is correct. I've messed with dictionaries so many times all throughout Starground. I'm very familiar with the way that these work. So modify tiles is a dictionary filled with keys of region IDs, and each region ID has data of another dictionary. So we say for each region ID in there, we get the data right here from there with region ID. So as long as it's not empty and it has stuff in it, we say done is false, so don't immediately tell the client that, like, the tiles are sent. We loop through each coordinate inside of the data there. And that's another dictionary, so that's going to have... this is going to be the coordinate, and then the data that it has, we're just going to grab tile ID. We generate a new data dictionary, and then send it along with our RPC. So it should be fine. Okay, the maximum packet size has been increased drastically. So let's try it out, because I'm curious to see if it does anything. We're going to have to set it back, because you can't do 2 gigabyte packets. It's not... That's a bad thing. But at this point, who knows? The correct get remote center ID, so somehow returning something different. I really don't think it would. Okay, it's sending all the... You can see it's sending them. We're just gonna wait. It's gonna take a long time, though. It's gonna take a million years. Well, since time doesn't really seem to make that much of a difference, we're just gonna say .physics frame. Let's try this out again. But we could also print out the remote sender ID. We can just grab this once instead of having to do this every single frame. So we can just save our sender ID as that. then pass that in. We'll try that out. Really don't think it'll do anything, but let's see. Wait for it to load. Okay, now we join, and let's watch those packets get sent. So now we wait. And it should send 3,669. Yeah, this is why I hate multiplayer, guys. Like, I don't think multiplayer is that bad if you have a very small, simple game with multiplayer. Like, that's okay. But when it gets to stuff like this, where I'm having to synchronize entire worlds and, like, mass quantities of data, that's where it gets not fun anymore. Because you get just wacky, stupid issues, you know? Like, packets choosing not to be sent. And, Steam problems trying to connect. It's just not fun. So it separated it out into two lines, but 3409 plus 260 is 3,669. So we're sending the exact tile count, but as you can see over here, we are only receiving 3,598 of them. So nothing we've done so far has actually fixed anything. So let's go ahead and set our packet limit back down, because I don't think that would have fixed it anyways. And all it's going to do is make everything super unstable. So our limits, I'm just fixing it over 2. All right. This is an interesting bit of the wording in the documentation. Default of 0 means unlimited bandwidth. Unit will strategically drop packets on specific sides of a connection between peers to ensure the peer's bandwidth is not overwhelmed. Determine the window size of a connection, which limits the amount of reliable packets that may be in transit at any given time. Interesting. Yeah, implies that even with unlimited bandwidth, it'll still drop packets. Yeah, it's very strange if that's the way that works. Is that referencing the channel that it's choosing? Because I've tried changing the channel, but maybe like I have to do something completely different. Let's go look for that. Switch to RPC. Here's this documentation. Because that would explain why having a delay does increase reliability, but not completely. It's always varying how much is missing. It's never the exact same. Specifically on the eNet multiplayer peer documentation under create client. Okay. It's very interesting. Here, I have to create an eNet multiplayer peer. Let's create client. Yeah, here it is. Interesting. So bandwidth, out bandwidth. Can define those. The channel count can be used to specify the number of eNet channels allocated for the connection. So 0 is unlimited bandwidth, which is what we want. Well, how do I stop eNet from dropping reliable packets then? Because that, I don't know, to me that defeats the whole purpose of a reliable packet, right? If it just chooses to get dropped randomly, like, what's the point then? It's odd, yeah. And it's even weirder, though, that there's no way to change that behavior. I mean, I guess knowing that information, it means that I could create my own way to verify which tiles have been sent and stuff, but it just seems like stupid that I have to do that. So the race condition, done bool that triggers another RPC that stops something else from happening. So you're done sending with the packets. No, I don't think that'll cause any issues. It's just that print statement over on here that prints out the packet that's received is just directly called by the RPC in here. So even if the done thing gets set to true, it's not going to change this function from getting called. So it should still happen. I hope no one is having a drinking game where they have to drink every time you say packet. I know. I can specify the channel count. How come it's on 0 by default? Like if I do 0, obviously it's not 0 channels. Is that just unlimited channels? Because that might be what that means. I would presume it means unlimited. Using the eNet library. Let's look up eNet dropping reliable packets. Apparently this is not an issue only with Godot. Increase the max channels instead of 1. I don't even know. That's not the same issue here. Yeah, this is Godot. It was closed. What does the set modified tiles ready? Basically, that just tells the client that all of the packets are sent. So over here, when I'm doing it with the RPC, done is true by default, so I only set that to false if there are tiles to be sent. Otherwise, if there are no tiles to be sent, it just tells the client there's no tiles, go ahead and just start generating your world. Right? That's essentially what that's doing. Yeah, this is my exact same issues. Packet loss and reliable RPCs. Extreme. So channels 1, 2, and 3 are controlled by Godot. So what channel do I choose? Like, do I just choose whatever number I want? Can I just say channel 10? Okay, any protocol local produces no error. Produces missed RPCs. RPCs, but no RPCs in incorrect order. Produces missed RPCs. Basically, when I use channel 1, all RPCs behave in unreliable ordered. Yeah, that's the thing that's strange, right? This one's saying flags were not being set when using custom channels, resulting in default eNet behavior. But I don't. That was 2 years ago, though. Unless that bug has been like reopened. So what do we do about this? Yeah, that's literally me right now. There's gotta be a way to fix this. Let's just try a wacky channel. Why not? Let's set our channel to 10. Then we have to do all this stuff again. Let's not use the first like 3 channels or whatever, because I guess that kind of overrides the behavior from what I can tell. And then let's say this one is call remote. Yeah, we're gonna try channel 10. Why not? Let's see if it works. Imagine it does actually work. That'd be so stupid. Yeah, if I can't figure this out, I might have to reopen like this issue and be like, hey, what is going on? What's the debugger? Does it offer something extra to see the actual packets? It's not really showing anything in there when we don't get the packets. It just kind of sits there and doesn't do anything. I don't see any errors logged, so... yeah, I don't think it's the packets themselves. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that... Hey, Vulgar Beans, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. How's it going? What were you up to today on your stream? Oh. New Year Eve. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Happy New Year Eve. Happy New Year's Eve to you as well. That time it sent more packets, but it didn't send all of them. Oh. So it defaulted to channel 0. Peer is only set up to use 4 channels. I like how there's a typo in the error. Please explicitly set the number of channels in your project settings. I see. Max channels. Bool equals 4. What? So do I just disable that then and then it's fine? I have no idea. Let's try it. Oh, man. The duck sitting in the keyboard says hard to type. Oh no, it's all good. No worries then. Yeah, we're just working on multiplayer bugs right now. We're trying to figure out this weird issue where, for some reason, when somebody joins the game, we send a bunch of information over, just telling them what tiles to generate for the map, right? Like saying, hey, I placed a floor tile here or whatever. Send that over to the client. But for some reason, it's just choosing to drop a bunch of those packets. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're trying to do like reliable packet sending, which you think would make sense because then the packets will all be reliable and get sent. But it doesn't seem to work. Okay, so when I do that, it says Pure is only set up to use channels 0 to 1. What? I don't know anymore, guys. So I guess I want that bool on. I don't know why it's a bool. Doesn't make any sense. I feel insane right now. Yeah, we've been just working away at this forever. I don't know what to do. Maybe I can't say reliable. Maybe I actually have to choose the reliable channel for it to work. So maybe that's the next thing that we try. To do something similar, I need to adjust how I do mine. Yeah. Right, chatty. I need to make it more chunky with how I'm taking care of it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's... I could do some, like, packet clumping, but the thing with Starground is, like, it's not like I make that change and then it stays that way, because somebody could just place down more land tiles, and even if I do some really big chunking, eventually one day it's just going to happen again. So that's the thing that's always such a pain about working on Starground. Is things have to be perfect, otherwise they just don't work. Now it says choose channel 0 to 0. What? Okay, I'm gonna relaunch the editor. Oh man. I'm just gonna discard all my changes. So that's not a thing anymore. So stupid. So Wonky Circle, thank you for the follow. Let's also drop any changes I did over here to the channel stuff. Because apparently setting that Boolean does some weird stuff. Alright. So I don't know if I can actually do channel 4. I don't know. But we'll try it out. It's load in there again. What does the clinker have to say? I don't think it'll know what the heck I'm even talking about. I'm not even gonna bother. I haven't found any information online about it, so I know that there's no training data for the clinker to know what to do. Will they play testing again? Or when will the play testing start again for the other games? Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are gonna start pretty soon, I think. I wanted to do those 1 week since I did the announcement, so... What day do we do the announcement on? Is that tomorrow? Let me go check. So that should start on Friday, it looks like. So yeah, January 2nd, I think, is when we're gonna sort of start distributing keys. I might need a minute to get things like ready for the playtesting, but hopefully I can do that in time. Yeah, I am also excited for that. I will say though, definitely expect it to be, you know, riddled with bugs and issues, because it is the very first pre-alpha playtest of the game ever. But hopefully though it goes well. The big thing that we need to work on is like making it like more of a real game instead of just sort of a tech demo right now, you know? So that's going to be the big thing. Like balancing gameplay. Okay. So I have to do 0 to 3 on this. It just keeps defaulting to 0. I don't know what channel is the reliable channel. I don't remember. Let's see if we can figure that out. Transfer mode. So reliable should be channel 2. So I think we want to do either 3 or 2. But 0 is like an automatic channel, so I think it might go from 0 and then 1 is unreliable, 2 is unreliable ordered, you know. But I don't really know, to be honest. Let's try this. It's great. Jalen love reporting bugs. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of, like, at least as far as I can tell, like, bugs, but I think it's just going to be lacking content is the main thing, of course, because, you know. But yeah. But I'll definitely be updating it very frequently. So we'll set up some Discord channels for all the playtesters. You know, kind of do the same setup that we have for Starground, where we have like a channel for bug reports and stuff and suggestions. All right, let's see what happens this time. It fails to send the packets. Who would have guessed? And what is it complaining about? I don't know if that's real or that was from before. Let's try channel 2. I don't think any of this is going to work. I think we're going to have to just buckle down and do our own error checking, which really sucks. But it is what it is. And if it's what I need to do to make the game work, then it's what we're going to do. Tomorrow for deadlift? Yeah, everyone can still sign up. It's completely free. You get a Steam key for free, and then you get to keep it forever, so you don't have to buy the game once it comes out. But yeah, there's not really any... I have, there's 4 questions, 2 are optional. You don't need to answer if you don't want to. I just need to know your Steam name and your Discord name, and that's basically it. The only, like, requirement really is just that you stay in the Discord server, so that it's just easy for me to distribute the keys, because it's really hard when people leave the server and then I have to go like hunt them down, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm just making it a rule that everybody has to stay in the server so that I can actually give you guys your keys. And if anybody leaves the server before I give you your key, then I'm just not going to give you a key, because it's too much work. But if you leave the server after I give you the key, then it's whatever, and it's fine. I don't care. So you can if you want. Won't you lose money if we keep the keys? I mean, it's fine. It's really kind of my token of appreciation, you know, for you guys spending the time to playtest and actually help me make the game. So I think it's really the least that I could do. Yeah, it's still just completely failing. It sends 100 tiles and then just doesn't ever do it again. Okay, guys. Well, I think we've done all that we can. Unfortunately, at this juncture, I believe that we will have to implement our own error checking for failed packets, because there's a lot of failed packets. So that's pretty epic. I'm trying to think of like what we could do Because, okay, here's one big issue, though, is I need to tell the client what packets they're supposed to receive. I guess what I could do is just send over a list of the positions that they have received, and that way the server knows, okay, I've already gotten these packets, so don't resend them again. That would probably be okay. My Steam name is OK, and my Discord name is Beard Boy. Okay. Yeah, if you want to sign up, you're totally welcome to join the Discord, and there's a link in the announcements. Anybody's welcome, so. It's okay that I did my name/name in Steam. So I found, oh, what's that? Okay. When I hear like a million notifications, I always think that there's a bot on the server. It's okay this time. Because I found 2 names in my profile and I didn't know which one was the right one. Yeah, you're all good. I probably don't need your Steam name, but it's just nice to like know who has the game. So don't worry about that. The important one is just your Discord name. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be going through and manually sending them. It's not like an automated system. So it's okay if it's a little wonky. I'll figure it out. It had to be on my ult account as I'm out of town. That's totally fine. And you don't have to redeem... You can wait to redeem the key on whatever Steam account you want and stuff, so... You should be fine. And yeah, if anybody has sent in, you know, signed up and has any kind of issue, then just... I'll make note of all this in the final announcement, but you can just message me and we'll get it figured out. Just keep sending it until it works. Unreliable reliability or something. That is one option. I'm almost tempted, honestly. But it is a little stupid. But I'll have to keep track of like which tiles have already been reported. I don't think it would be that bad. But we have to have another array that's like var reported tiles. Just so we can say, okay, I've already received that position, so ignore that packet. So now I can say if reported tiles.has call data.tile position, then just return. And then we say reported tiles.pushback tile position, so something like that will work. So now we have a list of all the positions that we so far have received. And then if we receive one we've already gotten, just ignore it. So it does give us an accurate count of the ones that we've received, so we could just theoretically keep sending stuff over until we've actually hit our required amount in reported tiles. So I guess this could work. I could just send like multiple passes, like loop through and send them all like 20 times or something. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do. It's an insane number of RPC calls, but... Yeah, I guess this will work. And then I can just say inside of get tile data or whatever it's called, request tile data. I can just choose how many times I want to do the initial send. So we could say for I in range 10. This is so stupid and a terrible way to do it, but let's see if it works. There's definitely a more optimized way that we could do this by reporting back to the server tiles we've already received so we don't send those ones. But, you know, honestly, these packets are so tiny, is it even worth it? Because by the time that I send a message back, I probably could have just sent all of the packets again 5 more times. So does it even matter? Probably not. So, yeah. I Maybe what I'll do is have a different system, so every frame that somebody doesn't send back a signal back to the server to say tiles have been sent, it sends the tile packets again until that it's sure that the client has all the packets. So let's see what the frick happens here, guys. Packet checking or something, I don't know. Well, let's try it. Just keep sending it until it gets to my impression dating as well, yeah. I just tried deleting Herobrine. I don't know, that's a good idea. I should totally try that. Discord changes. Okay. Start up the server again. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're about to find out. Did it fetch? I think it did. Okay. And of course we have to make sure that that array gets cleared out when we join a save again for the first time, but that's a future me problem. That's only gonna bother with that if I know it works. All right, here we go. Joining game. So it sent, okay, it did send all the RPCs, but it only received a couple. So I don't think that's the solution. What we need to do is keep every frame, send them over, you know? Instead of the way that I'm doing it here now. So what we can do actually is just do this and then say await get tree dot process frame, or we could say physics frame. And that's what it's going to do, is just immediately send the first couple of coordinates, and then it just never sends the rest of them. It's possible that might be happening here, but let's try connecting again. So I might have to randomize which packets get sent just so that it eventually happens. When Godot breaks, you have to recreate low-level protocols in your high-level code. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I totally love doing that. It's still not working. Let's stop printing out sent RPC. So it gets to about 380 and then everything dies. So let's keep figuring this out. Start from the bottom of the list the second time? Yeah. Well, I think if I don't shuffle, it's gonna never happen, so I think I do have to, yeah. So let's go ahead and, say for coordinate in region dot keys dot shuffle. And that should hopefully randomize. Let's see how many get sent this time. Oh, right. That shuffle returns a void, so we have to say var keys is region.keys. Then we say keys.shuffle. And now we pass in keys. Let's try that again. I have to restart everything now. Single piece of data, send you to check it. Arrived and confirm, and if it didn't, tell it to start over, basically. I mean, that's the option that we could do, is just send each one by one, and I don't know. I don't even know anymore. I'll have to spend some time, probably off camera, just like inventing a method to do this in the most performant and reliable way. I'll probably do like do like a pass, send the ones back to the server that it received, and then only send the ones it didn't receive, so that we're not ending up with like duplicate tiles, you know. So somehow it sent even less tiles this time, which is really weird. It's like if I start sending too many packets, everything just dies. Which is quite problematic. Funny thing is, that is exactly what I should be doing out of the box, I know. Right? It's stupid. Sad thing is, you can't just cheat in the solution like off-camera mining. I know. Send the data in a different format, like JSON or something, have it unpack all on arrival. There is a way for me to compress this data, but I'm sure that packets already do some compression themselves, so I don't even know if manually compressing it will matter. But yeah, I could do like, I've done it with the blueprint strings. We can go to the method I use for that instead of the blueprinter. I think it's like, actually I think it's in mod API. I have a method for compressing. Encode blueprint right here. Which technically this doesn't even have to be a blueprint. It could be this. It could be anything. I think it's the amount of packets, not the size. Yeah. I definitely think so. Because I could potentially break it up into each region. It would help. Yeah, I do think a different form would be better. But it still does sort of suffer from the same issues, so I need sort of a combination of both, you know? Like... I'm DDoSing myself? Yeah, basically. So if I run this compression, I don't know how much it's going to be compressed, but we could try it. Say mod API.encode blueprint, which I know it's not a blueprint, but you know, data. Then we can send our compressed data. And then in here, we say dot decode blueprint called data. So that should return, it should end up being the exact same thing. Then now we just replace all our references to call data with data. Ah. So we could try. Yeah, see what happens, I guess. What I want to know, though, is how big are these actual packets, because I just want to see if we can calculate the size it would be for 3,000 of them, and if it's under our packet size limit, then maybe we don't even have to bother sending them all individually, you know? Now, how do I check the size of something? Can I say compress dot humanize size? What does this do? Oh, yeah. And I don't know what size. Okay, so we do want to humanize size. Like that, and then say 1. Okay, but I still have to get size. It's gonna break mine up into groups. I don't have regions like you might, but right now I'm sending about, oh yeah, 10,000 RPC commands to each client to send the tiles for the dungeon. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I want to group those into chunks, like 500 tiles per cent or something, because my data is very small. It's like location plus tile ID. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I'm sending over too. I'm sending the region that it's located in, the position, and the ID, so it's only 3 things I'm sending over. I'm sure that I could, yeah, definitely like compress that down. Yeah. It's just because initially, I remember this, the reason I changed the whole system is because, region is an int. Region, I use all my IDs as strings, but I could easily like convert the string into like a hashed ID as an int, which would be smaller. But I don't even know if it's actually that much smaller. I wonder how Godot stores strings compared to ints. Yeah, it's not very many characters. It's pretty tiny, so... what I need to do is, like you were saying, I need to like loop through each one, compress it, figure out its size, and then I can decide how many tiles I'm combining together into my one packet, so that I'm always under the limit of the packet size. That would be the way to do it. Second question, are your tiles in the tile map layer, or are you doing your own tile system? Yeah, I do multiple different tile map layers. One for each. So the way it works is that each region has its own set of tile map layers. So I have, you know, for example, Viridian has terrain, wood planking, carpet, snow, sand, etc., all the different kinds of tiles as a separate layer. And then every region has its own set of those. So discard that. But yeah. To the size of these things, your compression might not be gaining anything out of it. Yeah. It's probably not going to compress it that much, but that's why I'm curious to see what it actually does. I want to see... How do I grab the file size, or like the size of something? Get size of var. Because you'd think there'd be like a size of... But I don't see anything like that. There's humanized size. There's like var to bytes. So that I could pass in, it turns into a packed byte array. And then I know the size is based off of how many bytes there are in the array, right? By the way, apparently Enet never uses TCP. Okay. That's interesting. If region is 10 chars, tile ID is 10 chars, we're talking like 20 chars, compression rate isn't going to be great. Yeah, no. An array is that size, not sure what file type you have. Yeah, I know that it's going to be pretty small, but I want to be able to figure this out, because when it comes to grouping them together, I need to make sure that the size that I group together is always less than my packet limit. Because I could just make an assumption and say 500, but it'd be nice if I could optimize it and like actually... it should be set to... I think it's 65,000 bits. The, 16 bits, basically. And I can change that limit, but I kind of do want to know when packets get too big, because if you send over really big packets, the odds that they get successfully sent is pretty bad. So I think it's probably good to stick with a relatively reasonable packet size. Chord I assume is XY. Not Godot for me? Yeah, it's all good. 2 ends, so 4 bytes a pop. Yeah. I think vector, it's a vector 2 in Godot, and I know that it uses floats. It's floating point, so 32-bit precision floats. Okay. And then there are vector 2 I's, but I don't use those. So I think it uses a 32-bit float for both X and Y. Sure. Yeah. Oh, get length? Is that a thing I can do? Get slice count. Are you talking about when it comes to the array? If I do var to bytes? So I could do... There's probably not even really any reason to compress it, so I'm just going to say var to bytes data dot size. So then it's just that size times 8 bytes, right? Times 8, because a byte is 8 bits. Now, one thing, though, is the difference between bits and bytes. Is it sending... I presume that the limit is in terms of bits and not bytes, but I don't actually know. Limit. Where is it? Max buffer. In bytes. Okay. So we don't have to do any conversion because the limit is set in bytes. Also, yo, Ace, what's up? Welcome in. We're doing more funny multiplayer. Can you believe it? It's crazy. So this is our size then. So it's pretty easy to get the size. Let's just say data is equal to var 2 bytes. Data. Or let's say bytes. And then I can just get bytes.size, and I just want to print out bytes.size for these because I'm just honestly genuinely curious. And then we can humanize the size over here. Yeah, so let's just pass in bytes.size. And then for humanized size, this in terms of bits or bytes? Number of bytes. Okay. So now we just send over bytes. And then in here we can say bytes to var. Call data. Alright. So I think we should be good. I definitely have to push these changes. Change tile RPCs to bytes. Let's go pull that change. It's not going to work yet because we're not doing any kind of packing of the, you know, the sizes. So, but I just want to see how big these are, just out of genuine curiosity, honestly. Because I'm sure they're going to vary a bit depending on the length of the ID and stuff. All right, let's relaunch everything. Okay. Anyways. Hey, that Windows 11 Microsoft sucks, but there's nowhere else to go. Yeah. It was a lockdown. Linux seems good at first, but then you can't even record your screen for life, yeah. Yeah, I think Linux is very interesting, but the only reason I haven't moved to Linux is because I think it's kind of like not super user-friendly. There are Linux distros that are, but then you look at like what's actually compatible moving away from Windows, and there's a lot of things that would really suck. Like, for example, even just one thing off the top of my head, FilterForge is Windows only. So that's just a whole super epic tool that I use every day that's gone now. So, I don't know. I don't think I can really move to Linux yet. Someday I hope that Linux is popular enough for it to like compete with Windows, but it's just not quite there. But it's on its way. We got the Times Squared ball drop stream up in another monitor. Let's go. Anyone else a ball dropper? We usually watch the ball drop, yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you can see these are usually around 128 bytes. Actually, yeah, almost all of them are 128. Some of them are a little less at 108. But yeah, now what I can do is I can use that value and figure out what is the size of this packet I'm creating. Right. And then just keep throwing them on there until I've reached the maximum size. And as soon as I have, like, stop where I'm at, send the packet, and then continue on. So it should be pretty easy to do this, hopefully. Yeah, let's mess around with this then. Makes it way too much work for the most basic things, yeah. Did I hear Linux? Yeah. Use Winbow, which just runs a background VM and tries to. It's pretty good at integrating a display for the window of the app running in the background VM, yeah. But this is the thing, it's like, why go through all that trouble emulating Windows when I could just use Windows? I don't know. I think I do want to swap to Linux one day, but I don't know. I need to wait for the right moment to where I feel like I actually would benefit from using Linux instead of Windows. And I don't think I'm quite there yet. Don't forget to take into account the header of the packet. Yeah, I presume there's probably a little bit of extra size on top of the actual data, so I'll probably like choose a maximum limit that's just a little bit less than my actual packet limit, just so we don't run into that issue. I tried to do Material Maker. That's the Godot one we're messing with, right? Yeah, this is the Godot one. It's really cool, but it froze my entire computer, and there's not really a whole lot of filters compared to FilterForge. It's definitely interesting, and I'm excited to see where this goes over time, but performance is also quite a bit worse. It's very neat. I think I will eventually try and fully use this instead of FilterForge one day. But at least for now, my workflow is much faster using FilterForge. Just because I can tweak things and export them way quicker. So. But yeah. Yeah, I definitely am not a fan of the things that Windows has been adding. But I don't know. I'm not really at a spot where I want to put in the time to really swap, you know? Like, I've got a lot of projects lined up, and if I swap to Linux in the middle of everything, then my productivity is gonna die. So, but imagine one day, maybe if I have a moment in between projects, you know, a month or two to get familiar with it and just mess around, that might be the play. Okay, so we're just going to have a variable called... We don't have to do this multiple times anymore. So get rid of all that. Anyway, we might have to, we'll see. We're going to say var packet. And this is a type of packed byte array. So we're just going to keep looping through. And as soon as we hit our size, we stop. So we get our bytes. We say if packet.size is less than our limit, which let's say for now is 50,000. Then we say packet dot, can I like append? Yeah, append bytes. Now the only thing is, how am I going to know? I need some kind of like way to separate them though. Maybe a better way to do this, just so I know, is make this a dictionary. It'll be easier for me to unpack this. And then I just say packet at chord is equal to data. So now we're gonna say here var to bytes packet.size. So I'm not actually gonna send it. Well, I will send it as a var to bytes, but that'll be at the end. I guess I will actually just call this bytes. Oops. Then say bytes.size. So otherwise, if we reached our maximum packet size, we go ahead and send over our packet. So I think that should work. Also, I need to know if we're on our last thing in here. So I almost need to like send another one at the very end. So we say, right, for each region as we go through and finish them, we also send this again. Okay, so we're gonna send word to bytes packet. It's crazy that I have to do all this, but whatever. I think with Linux, if no one ever tries it, gets past the uncomfortable stuff, we'll never see it grow. I mean, that is true. You'd be quite surprised at how easy Linux is with a lot of the main distros now. Yeah. I'll definitely have to look into it one of these days. What I need to do is create a different computer so that I can test it without like compromising, you know, having my main computer running well and, you know. Because I don't really have any issues right now with my OS. I mean, occasionally you get funny business with Windows, but it's not like that bad. Packet.size is going to be something different. Yeah, I have to make sure that I'm doing var to bytes whenever I check size, so. Yeah, I think this should work. And then I'll send that initial tile down there, and then when that happens, we set packet back to, or we just say clear the packet. So that's going to be, we're going to loop through all the coordinates, send the last of the thing. Yeah. So in the case where we have a world that's not even larger than that byte, we don't have to worry about sending, we just send it down here. I'll say sending full packet, and then over here we say send remainder packet. You're doing a packed byte right now, you're doing a dictionary? Yeah, I'm aware. What I'm doing it that way just so that I can, it's going to be much easier for me to decrypt it doing it this way. I definitely heard Linux some minutes ago. I migrated Linux Mint from Windows 10 back in mid-October. Oh, nice. I switched to Linux, but play a lot of League of Legends. That game does not like Linux. Yeah, you can't do any kernel level anti-cheat, I believe, with Linux. In this method, you're not accumulating the amount of bytes the whole packet is going to be. I don't think so. So I have this dictionary up here. I convert that var to bytes. And this is being defined up here out of everything, so this is persistent. As long as it's less than that, so I'm getting the size of the dictionary in terms of bytes. Then I add this on to the dictionary. Oh, I changed the packet instead of data. Okay, okay. Yes, I think we're good to go. I have no idea if this is going to work, but we'll find out. And then all I have to do when it gets there is just say, you know, var or bytes to var. And send initial tile. Yeah, so bytes to var. And let's not worry about reported tiles anymore then. Then now we say for I in data, for position in data, we can do this. Region, position. Or we have to say var tile is equal to data.get at position. So now we say tile tile.region ID position, and then tile ID is tile.tile ID. Then every time we do that, we increment our tile count. And then we say tile received. All right. We're going to see what happens. Tile packing. Push the origin. And then this is probably going to be the last test for today. I have to go eat dinner and stuff. The usual. But let's just see. Would that be epic if it actually worked? Probably won't. I'm sure there's some kind of issue I probably left in, but we'll see. Okay. Alrighty. Say, Astaquack, welcome in. It's been a while. How are you doing? What are you working on? We are working on fixing some multiplayer stuff with the Starground. There's some issues where when you join a multiplayer game, the way that the game sends you information about the tiles can sometimes like drop and get corrupted. And then sometimes it just never gets sent at all, and it means that you don't ever generate your world. So we're trying to change the way that all works right now. By doing some funny stuff. So somehow that sent 2,000 full packets. I don't think that's right. That just doesn't seem right. I've been playing since 2010. Oh, that's crazy, yeah. Doing good. Just about to check out the new update for Starground. Let's go. Nice. So what happened here? We're looping through the region. Oh, I said if it's less than 50,000. Duh. I have to say if the packet is greater than 50,000. Let's try this again. All right. I hope this works, because this would be a really good way of doing this. It does. It should significantly decrease the number of packets we actually have to send. And since each thing is like only 100 bytes, I mean, it's probably going to be, I'm hoping, not very many packets. Yeah, it is a classic mistake. Game. Oh, did I hit join or something instead? No, hold on. Let me redo this. Come on, load. I must go. Steam host. Whoa. I think something got corrupted. I don't know what file. Okay, autosave 1 has been corrupted. Let's go delete it. Here it's in saves and then autosaves. Bye. Yeah, world time is a float that keeps track of the current time of day. So I was worried about incrementing a float by delta, you know, but the Godot has support for 64-bit floats, or I think it should be a 64-bit one, which means that we're gonna end up with like it's like a quadrillion years or something it should work for, a quadrillion years of playtime, so it's fine. I don't think it's gonna matter. Let's do yes world again. It's got a lot of modified tiles. Let's see what happens. Watch it like break everything. It might have. No, we're good. Okay. Let's see what happens. Questing tile data. It didn't send anything over. That's still a lot of full packets, though. 1,000 packets? I feel like that's not right. Because if each packet is 128, and let's say that we have 3,000, then that should be 384,000 bits. So if each packet can be up to 50,000, then it should only be around 8 packets. But it just didn't set them. That's just, yeah, that's way too many. Well, clearly I've got to do some more messing around with this, but I don't have time to right now. We'll try and figure it out. It's a little funky right now. But if I can get this working, hopefully it should help a lot, because 7 packets is nothing. We should be able to send 7 packets. Thank you for the hydrate. And the speed. If that one player that plays for 24 hours a day for years shows up, well, the universe will die before they do, so it should be okay. Just days or so after my Linux Mint migration, I heard of the terrifying virtual serial spy level telemetry in Windows 11. Yeah. Weeks and months later, Windows 11 will introduce updates more broken than car of the data over its battery. Yeah. Nah, it's stupid. I think there's a lot of dumb stuff in Windows, but, you know, there's a lot of dumb stuff in everything. If Windows keeps doing what they're doing, then yeah, I definitely would like to Linux it up someday. Well, anyways, that's gonna be it for today's stream. Thank you everybody for coming in. Do appreciate it. Yeah, final notice, because since it's happening on Friday, I think I'll probably end signups before I end the stream, or maybe I'll give people one last chance. But yeah, if anyone interested in doing the playtesting for Deadlift or Lured In, now's the time. You can join the Discord and the announcements channel. There's links there for it. You get a free key and it stays free forever. Yeah, sorry that today's stream was stupid and boring. I hate working on multiplayer stuff for 4 hours, but that's how it goes sometimes. So, It is what it is. But yeah, hopefully I can get this working. I'm gonna be messing around with it off stream, see what we can do. But yeah. Anyways, feel free to grab Starground on Steam. It's 25% off for the winter sale. We'll be live again on what day is it today? I was about to say we'll be live again on Friday around 3:30 MST. And yeah, thank you gamers for coming. Let's go find somebody to raid really quick. Let's raid Plobby. He's doing some stuff. What is he working on? He's making a bug. Let's go raid in. All right, but Happy New Year's, everybody. Whether it's already happened or hasn't yet, I'll see all of you next year. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.